This is a problem from chapter 6.2, and its ID is 15. You've got two functions, y equals 7 cosine x and y equals 7 sine x. The region of interest goes from x equals 0 to pi over 2. Now, even though there's compound regions here, it's still easier to go and integrate with respect to x. So it's easier to integrate with respect to x, even though there's two regions here, because you'd have to deal with inverse trig functions. Because if you integrate with respect to y, you deal with inverse trig functions. So we're going to stick with integration with respect to x. The point where these two functions intersect, excuse me, draw it in here. Hopefully you know from the unit circle is, excuse me, pi over 4. Pi over 4. So we're going to look at two integrals. We're going to integrate, grab another color, the first region, and I'll put that, region 1. We're going to go from 0 to pi over 4, and that's the sine function, so it's 7 sine x dx. And we're going to add to that region 2, I'll go green. That's region 2, and region 2 is going to go from pi over 4 to pi over 2, and that function that we're going to be working with on the top is 7 cosine x dx, and of course on the bottom is y equals 0. So these are the two integrals that we need to evaluate. I'm going to pause and do a little bit of cleanup, and then I'll come back. Okay, I wanted to go off and do the algebra and then come back in and go through it cleanly and not waste too much of video time. So the two integrals are here. One is in red, the first region, and the other region is in green. So let me just grab yellow to go talk to you. So the first integral goes from 0 to pi over 4 of 7 sine x dx. Taking the antiderivative of that, you get minus cosine x. Evaluate it between 0 and 14, and you come, or 0 and pi over 4, and you come down to this. Using the unit circle, hopefully we have it mostly committed to memory. Cosine of pi over 4 is the square root of 2 over 2, and the cosine of 0 is 1. So that comes down to the area of that particular region is 7 minus 7 times the square root of 2 over 2. The region pi over 4 to pi over 2 of 7 cosine x comes down to the antiderivative here. Evaluate it between pi over 4 and pi over 2, and that region evaluates to 7 minus 7 times the square root of 2 over 2. Again, using the unit circle. Combining those two regions, you should come out with the area of 14 minus 7 times the square root of 2.